All right, so we introduced critical race theory and what it is in its purest form. Now let's put it in practice a little bit more, okay? Let's break it down a little bit. And this could be, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not out for that. I'm not out to change your mind. I'm just out to let you know this is what it actually looks like in the schools, in the educational system, things like that, okay? Kids have to be in the classroom if they're going to get an education. Kids outside of the classroom are not going to get an education. They're just not. Some of that stuff does not work. The kids who are disciplined out of the room or sent out of the room for discipline reasons are normally not supported that well at home. If we put them outside the classroom, we have no control over whether they are being exposed to information, whether they have resources, whether they're being fed. We don't know. So we have this issue of, and when it comes down to discipline, if a certain demographic is put out of the classroom more than the other demographics, then they will naturally, the natural repercussion of that is that they will struggle academically and in those bubble-filling tests that we love so much, and thus their demographic is going to drop further behind. The more this happens, the more it becomes cyclical or generational. That if one person doesn't succeed, their kids are going to be at a disadvantage. And if two generations didn't succeed very well according to the standards of, American capitalism or whatever you want to call it, the third generation is probably not going to be very successful because they lack that support system and that experience at home. So we actually have in place, most people won't talk about it or admit it, but we have in place racial discipline standards in a lot of schools. I'm not saying everywhere, sometimes. Because if this demographic is outside of the classroom more than the other demographics, this is a long-term effect of this, you see? Well, what if that demographic commits more infractions? They commit more infractions. We can't solve everything. Nothing's perfect. But if we're going to solve the long-range opportunity out there, it's going to cost some of the other people in here in the classroom for the long-range goal, right? So this is critical race theory. Your demographic may suffer on the short end for the sake of equality on the long end. Now remember, governments has changed. It's no longer about the individual that much. It's more about the overall. We're drifting from the original, probably when some of my older people watching this from when you were in school and it was rugged individualism. We don't do that much anymore. It's about the overall. It's about equitability, right? So critical race theory is going to do some things like that. Well, if these kids keep getting sent out of the room, they'll never get an education. We've got to do whatever it takes to get them in the room. Now, those kids over there, we can afford to lose a couple because their demographic is way ahead on this stuff. We can afford to suspend some of those because, their parents will back them up when they get home. They'll get home, their parents will whoop them, make them watch videos, take away their phone, whatever. And so we actually, some places, allegedly, I can't confirm or deny, have discipline policies based on your demographic and what support system you have back at the house. Is that fair? That's your call. That's where politics comes in. The end result, I personally believe, is the end goal is noble. What we're aiming for is noble. The way we're getting there, that's all you, man. You make the call on that one. Let me give you another example. The Supreme Court was arguing about racist policies, critical race theory, things like that a while back. And it's very famous quotes. John Roberts, Chief Justice, said that the way you get people to stop discriminating by race is to stop discriminating by race, which means critical race theory. Toss it. Don't make anything related to race. People win, they lose, they succeed, they fail. Shouldn't look at race whatsoever. Ruth Bader Ginsburg retorts with, let me see if I got it written down somewhere. Ruth Bader Ginsburg retorts something with, well, it's kind of hard to have a racial related outcome without focusing on a racial process. I butchered that quote. But that's basically what we're debating at the Supreme Court level. If you want equality of treatment, you get what you get. If you want equality of outcome, equality of opportunity under the law and opportunity in society, you're going to have to give and take and equalize a little bit. That's the politics of it. That's where it really comes into play. There's where all the debates and everything are getting heated, because some demographics are going to have to give up something that another demographic's going to get. Y'all fight it out. I was going to say have fun with it, but it's probably not going to be too enjoyable. Be nice. Be nice. All men are created equal and have the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. All humans deserve respect and courtesy and consideration. Other than that, run wild. Virtue beliefs. All right, guys, I hope that helped a little bit. Sorry for making it so long. We'll catch you later.